Hi friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Welcome if you're new. I'm Cheryl. And friends, I got an exciting package today and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to open this with you guys and to start using it. As you guys know, if you've been following me for a little while, you know that I am on a new journey around here to really pay attention to the foods that we're eating, what's in the foods that we're eating. And that's the big part. Really reading labels and looking at things. So I have wanted this product for quite a while. I've wanted one of these. We did a lot of research, did not want to spend a ton of money. There are a lot of really expensive ones out there and I did not want to go that route. I wanted to find something that was moderately priced, but still had good reviews, did a good job, was going to do what I needed it to do. And let me get started with this part of the journey. If I end up liking this part of this journey, then I will probably invest in something a little more expensive. But for now, this one had great reviews and that's what we're going to go with. So friends, I got my first flour mill and I'm so excited. I cannot wait to start grinding my own flour, start making breads and all the things and doing things a little bit better. As you guys all know, flour in the grocery stores, there are some good brands out there, don't get me wrong. There are some out there that try to keep it clean, that try to keep it, chemical free and preservative free and all the things. But the thing is, flour in this country has been so overly processed. It's had most of the nutrients taken out of it. You miss so much of that stuff when we buy commercial flour. As I said, don't take that wrong. There are some companies out that do have some great flours. But I've watched several channels over the last 6 or 7 months that have been grinding their own flour. And I said to hubby, I want to give this a try. We are doing things differently here now. We are trying to start paying attention to what's in our food, the ingredients that are in it, trying to get away from things that have preservatives, that are highly processed, that have a lot of preservatives and chemicals and things that I cannot pronounce. If I can't pronounce it, I don't want it. So I want to open this with you guys. I want you guys to see the flour mill that we got. And we're going to actually use it today too. Let's get this flour mill open and let's see what's in this box. Super excited about this. So we did do a lot of research, as I said, and there are some companies out there that have some great ones that are $600. And I did not want to pay $600 for a flour mill. That was just not my thing. So here is our directions. This one is going to be perfect size, I think, for me, for what I'm going to do. And so I'm excited to give this a try. So we're going to unbox it all so we can check it out and see what all is in here. So it has several pieces that it came with. Here's the cord. That's a very important piece. Let's see, here is the brush. So this is to clean the inside of the flour mill, as well as to clean your blade. There is an extra blade here. These are the tools that you need to change your blade if you're going to change the blade out. So that is pretty nice. So there are some beautiful ones out there. There are several of them that are wood. But those are the really super expensive ones. And like I said, I was not into spending, $600 for a flour mill. So this one is perfect size. It's going to fit under my counter, which is going to be great. I'm going to create a space on my counter for this to sit all the time. Lots and lots of styrofoam. We'll have to clean that all up before we start baking, but so it has, let's turn around this way. Right here is for the cord. Your cord goes in there and you take this apart. This is your, this right here allows you to swivel this so that you can dump out your flour, which I think is super cool that you can do that. One thing that I didn't like about some of the other ones that I saw that have the feed tube out the front and you grind it, there is so much dust that flies all over your kitchen with those. And that was not something that I was super interested in. I did not want to deal with that stuff flying all over my kitchen. All right, and then to get inside where we are going to put our grain, we're going to grind it. You're going to move your levers around. Let's get this up so you can see it a little bit better. So you're going to move these around. You want to push the levers back, and then you can just unscrew the lid. There's the top that comes off. Here is the sieve so that we can make sure we have everything just the way we want it. This is the inside of the grinder. This is the blade that's in there. That's what we have an extra one of over there. So you'll put your grain in here, and then you'll put your lid back on top. And you want to make sure that when you put the lid back on top, you put it on sideways, and then you twist it to lock that into place, just like that. And then we move our tops back, and then we're all set to go to grind up our wheat. So this just came in the mail. I am headed to go run an errand, and while I'm out running the errand, grab some wheat berries, and as soon as I get back, we're gonna make our very first loaf of fresh milled bread. All right, friends, so it is actually a couple of days later. I went to Whole Foods to get the wheat berries to grind up for our flour. They didn't have any. I was pretty disappointed when I went in there. So I had to kind of regroup and do a little more research. And I started looking around our area to see if there's another store that could possibly carry these. Found some online. I was just gonna order them, but I had the idea the next day. We have another little store in our town that's called Natural Grocers. That's what it is. And so I thought, I'll give it a shot. What do I have to lose? So I went in there, and lo and behold, friends, they had wheat berries. So we got our wheat berries, we got what we needed, and I am super excited to get going on this. So I'm gonna make a recipe that I found on Pinterest for a fresh milled baguette or French bread. Excuse my dog coughing in the background. So we're gonna do that. It makes 2 loaves of bread, and let's get this started. I'm excited, so excited to get this going. I've got my grinder out, ready to start milling up this wheat berries and get this into some flour. So the recipe that I'm using, it says that we need 2 1/3 cups of the actual wheat berries. That's gonna get us to the 3.5 to 4 cups of actual flour that we need. You don't want to have too many, and you don't want to have too few in here because it's not good on the machine. So let's get it measured out. Let's get these in there. Let's see how this works for the very first time, friends. I'm nervous, a little scared, but I'm excited. So let's do this. So here's our grinder. Here's our wheat berries. We're going to measure this out to 2 1/3 cups of wheat berries in here. I don't know if I can get all of that in here. We're going to try. So let's see how it goes. All right, so I'm going to get this opened, and we're going to measure this out. Measure it directly into our grinder. So it looks like there's 1. There's 2. And 1/3. All right, there's our 2 1/3 cups of our wheat berries. We're gonna get this ground up. I'm excited to do this. Like I said, this is my first time. Okay, so it says this is a timer that's on the side of this, and it says that it shouldn't take any more than 30 seconds to grind this. So I am going to mute this part of the video while I'm running this because this is extremely loud and I don't want to deafen you guys with this thing. So it's like, oh wow, friends, look at that. That is beautiful. Looks like a really good grind on it. So I'm gonna get all this flour out of my lid. It did a really, really good job. That has a really good texture to it. All right, we're gonna get this dumped into our bowl and then we're gonna get measured out. All right, so I have all of my wheat here, or my wheat berries. We're just gonna dump this into our bowl. Set that aside. I'm gonna grab the brush so that we can clean out our canister. Now I did unplug the machine so that there's no chance of it starting, although I don't think it will do that because it has a safety mechanism that if the lid isn't locked into place, it's not going to turn on. All right, there is our freshly ground wheat berries. Super excited to make this bread. Let's head over to the mixer. All right, so we're gonna get started on our dough. We've got 1.5 cups of warm or hot water, not super hot because you don't want to kill your yeast. We're gonna go put in 3 tablespoons of olive oil. We're gonna put in 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and we're gonna put in our flour. And remember, this is 3.5 to 4 cups of fresh milled flour. Now the thing when you're doing fresh milled flour versus like all-purpose flour that you get from the store, you have to let this flour sit in the water for about 10 minutes. So there's 1, 2, so we may have to grind up a little bit more. Put my dough hook on. I will grind up some more flour just so I have it for a standby, because I have a feeling we are going to need a little bit more. This is one of those times when I wish that I had a paddle with the scraper edge on it, but I don't. So you want to let this dough sit here for 10 minutes and really let that milled flour absorb that water before we put in your yeast in last when you're doing fresh milled. Put in our yeast now. We need 2.25 teaspoons of yeast. And then we're gonna start kneading this. There's 1, 1.5, 2, 2.25. So we're gonna start kneading this on kind of medium-low speed. This is gonna knead until it is the right consistency, and I'll show you that as soon as we get to that point. All right, so this has been going over here for about 20 minutes. We're gonna do what we call the window pane test on this. So we grab our dough, and you wanna stretch it, and you wanna be able to get it so that you can see how thin this is right here, and it's not breaking. That's what we want. So we're gonna put this back in the bowl. We're gonna cover it, and we're gonna let this rise for 1 to 2 hours till it's doubled in size. All right, friends, here is our fresh milled flour, our delicious looking dough. Cannot wait to get this in the oven for its last rise. So excited for this. So this is a little bit similar to the like the French bread that we used to make at the sorority house, where we don't roll this out on flour. We actually use oil for this instead of flour. I like that much better for this kind of bread because it gives you a slicker surface to roll the bread up, but then you don't end up with that flour on the outside of your dough. So I have a sheet pan back here ready to go. We're gonna put parchment on it, get it ready for the oven. We need to punch this down, get this on a board, get it split into 2 pieces so we can make 2 French breads. And these are gonna go in the oven and go for another 40 minutes or so, and then they'll bake. So let's get these finished. So I'm gonna remove my rings just because I know how this goes with working with dough, and it's not a good thing to end up with a lot of stuff on your hands. So got my board wiped down. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil on this so that our dough doesn't stick. It's not gonna hurt the board. Actually, olive oil is really good for your cutting boards. It just kind of rehydrates them. So I don't mind spreading my cutting boards a little bit of oil. Also, getting the oil on your hand helps you kind of work that dough out of your mixing bowl. This has a really good fill since this is fresh milled flour. I was a little bit worried about what the feel was going to be like, but this is a great feeling dough. Really, really like this. And I'm so excited that you guys are coming along with me for my first ever opportunity to work with fresh milled flour. This is super exciting. So this is a beautiful dough. I've got my bench scraper out. We're gonna cut this in half. I'm gonna put the other half in the bowl for right now till I get this one flattened out. So the way we used to do French bread at the sorority house when I worked there was, this is the way that my old boss taught me how to do it, was we flatten out our dough. There's lots and lots of ways to do a French style loaf. This is just one of them, but you can do whatever works for you. So we spread it out and then we just roll it into thirds. You want to flip it over. We're going to pinch our seams together. We're going to tuck our ends over like that. Flip our bread back over, and we're just going to kind of push this together and form our loaf. Parchment paper down on my parchment paper on my sheet pan. I couldn't think. So I'm just going to pick this up. We're going to drop this right on our pan, and we're going to do our other side, our other piece here. We're going to get this one pushed out as well. All right, so here is our loaves of bread. We're going to go ahead and score these on top. You want to use a really good sharp knife. All right, these are going to get wrapped up again. They're going to go back under a towel for another about 40 minutes so they can double in size. And then these are going to be ready to go in the oven and bake for about 25 minutes. All right, friends, I'm going to pull the bread out of the oven. It smells incredible. There's our French bread. You can hear it. That's exactly the sound that you want. So I saved this little piece of foil. We're going to use this to put some butter on this bread on the outside of it. Get this slab down with some butter. You can do some olive oil if you would rather. You can do some herb butter, some herb oil. Do whatever your family enjoys having on top of their bread. We just like butter, especially when it's really good butter. This is just the Costco brand of Kerrygold, but it still is delicious. We'll see how this is. Friends, this was my very first time making bread with fresh milled flour. So I'm excited to see how this tastes, how this works. I'm only going to get better as far as making fresh milled bread. It's definitely something that takes some time to learn the process. So our bread, I went ahead and cut into it. You can see it is beautiful inside. Put a little butter on this. We're going to give this a taste. I'm excited about this. Really good crunch to the crust. That excites me to try some more things with fresh milled flour. This was my first time ever making anything with fresh milled flour. I think these loaves turned out, they're beautiful. They are perfect. I didn't cut that one exactly straight. Little piece came off, but that's okay. It's fine. So yeah, I'm loving this journey. This is super fun. I can't wait to experiment with some more things with fresh milled flour. Got lots and lots of things that I want to give a try. This was the first thing in us making better choices, making things homemade, getting away from the chemicals, the preservatives, the additives, all the things that they put into things that are not good for us. And are we going to do everything perfect? We're not. We are not going to do everything perfect. Absolutely not. Yesterday, hubby and I had Chick-fil-A for lunch. I surprised him when I picked him up after jury duty, and we had Chick-fil-A up on top of the viewpoint in downtown, which has a beautiful view up there. Spent an afternoon having lunch together before I took him back to work. And so yes, we're not going to be perfect every single time. You know what? There's going to be times where I'm going to want to go out and have a delicious cheeseburger with somebody after church. I'm going to want to go have some Mexican food, and I'm going to do that. But I'm also going to start making better choices here at home in what we're cooking, the ingredients we're cooking with, how we're doing things, and trying to make better choices as we go along. So I'm excited about this. I hope you guys will continue watching this journey as we go on. All of this stuff with this new journey, I'm going to have a different playlist for that. So if you're just interested in watching the changes that we're making in making things from scratch, making things homemade, making things with our fresh milled flour, that kind of stuff, there'll be a separate playlist for those things, and I'll let you guys know what playlist that is going to be in. But friends, thank you guys again so much for joining me on this fun journey, getting to get a flour mill. I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to play with that some more. Order some more wheat berries, because this took quite a few. Now I kind of have an idea of what it takes. So I used this many in this bag to do about 4 cups of flour. So that gives me an idea. This was a 2-pound bag. And so it took about 1.5 pounds maybe of the wheat berries to make 2 loaves of French bread. It's delicious French bread. It actually is. It's very delicious. I can't wait to experiment some more with some other breads, some other things. We're gonna get better at grinding. My grind on this probably was not perfect today, but it's my first time ever. So I'm pretty happy with how this turned out for the first time ever using fresh milled flour, making anything in my kitchen. So I'm super excited about this. I hope you guys will continue to join me on this journey as we continue to look at the foods that we're eating, what's in the foods that we're eating, and how to make better choices and better options for things that we want to have. So friends, if you guys have not yet, please hit that subscribe button up there. Would love to have you part of our YouTube family. Hit that notification bell down there so that you're notified every time we upload a video. We're trying to upload Monday, Fridays with recipes, cooking videos, that kind of thing. Saturdays we're doing live. Wednesdays we're doing our Bible devotional on Wednesday mornings. So pick your whatever ones you want to watch, or watch them all. We'd love to have you. So friends, thank you guys again. Your time is valuable. I know that. It means so much to me that you take your time and come and hang out with me and see what I'm doing in my kitchen. I hope you guys will come back, and we'll talk to you guys in the comments. Have a great day, friends, and God bless.